Hello viewers, thank you for joining us on TVRI, the official broadcaster of the FIFA U17 World Cup 2026. Welcome to Palu News Service, your weekly update covering the latest regional news from Palu and its surroundings area in Central Sulawesi. I'm Dian Mdekawati. Now let's take a closer look at this week's full coverage, and this is Palu News Service. Viewers, we begin our first story. Police in Morowali Regency have identified several individuals suspected of involvement in fatal mob assault that claimed the life of a man accused of attempting to steal a motorcycle. Investigators are continuing to questioning witnesses while gathering additional evidence.
A tragic incident unfolded in Bahomok Moor Village, Bahoropi District, Morowali Regency, where a man identified as Setiawan from Senjai Regency, South Sulawesi, died after being assaulted by a crowd. The victim was allegedly caught attempting to steal a motorcycle on Saturday, July 25th. According to police, the incident began when the victim was seen pushing away an automatic motorcycle while its owner was shopping at a nearby convenience store. The owner immediately shouted for help, drawing the attention of nearby residents who quickly gathered at the scene. Although the man sought refuge inside the convenience store, hundreds of people surrounded the building, leaving him with no way to escape. Despite attempts to explain the situation, he was assaulted both inside the store and outside the premises. The victim sustained severe injuries from the attack and was taken first to the PTIMIC clinic before being transferred to Morowali Regional Hospital. Despite receiving medical treatment, he died the following day. Morowali police have since launched a full investigation. Crime scene processing, the collection of CCTV footage, physical evidence, and witness statements have all been carried out. Investigators say they have already identified several individuals who could be named as suspects in the case. Police said more than one person is believed to have been involved in the fatal assault. Investigators are continuing to question witnesses and gather additional evidence before determining the suspect's legal status. Authorities also urge the public not to take the law into their own hands and to allow law enforcement officers to handle criminal cases through the legal process. Bakri, TVRI Central Sulawesi contributor, reporting.
Indonesia's Corruption Eradication Commission of KPK has raised concerns over the quality of public and land administration services in Central Sulawesi. An evaluation found that most regencies and municipalities in the province remain in the red zone for service performance indicators.
The KPK's Deputy for Coordination and Supervision presented the results of its latest evaluation of land administration services across Central Sulawesi's regencies and municipalities. The assessment reviewed the performance of local land service offices and found that many areas have yet to meet the minimum standards for public service delivery. According to the Commission's findings, 9 of the 14 public service indicators used to assess land administration in Central Sulawesi remain in the red category. The evaluation identified a number of persistent issues, including lengthy document processing times, complicated bureaucratic procedures, and a lack of certainty for applicants seeking land-related services. The KPK urged regional administrations throughout Central Sulawesi to strengthen the performance of their land service units by simplifying administrative procedures, improving transparency in document processing fees, and ensuring the public has clear access to service information. The Commission also called for tighter supervision of frontline officers to prevent procedural irregularities that continue to generate complaints from residents applying for land certificates. Following the evaluation, local governments in central Sulawesi pledged to implement the KPK's recommendations. Authorities said improvements to land administration services would be carried out gradually over the coming months through administrative reforms, stronger internal oversight, and measures aimed at delivering faster, more transparent, and more accountable public services. Fitran Nathan, TVRI Central Sulawesi, reporting.
Viewers, after experiencing shortage in recent week, supplies of the government-subsidized cooking oil brand Minyak Kita have returned to normal across Central Sulawesi. State Logistic Agency Bulog says current stocks levels are sufficient to meet public demand for the next several months.
Stocks of Minyak Kita cooking oil, available in pouch and bottled packaging, had been limited in several traditional markets and Bulog retail outlets across central Sulawesi, particularly in Palu City over the past few weeks. Bulog's Central Sulawesi regional office has now confirmed that supplies have returned to normal. However, distribution will first be prioritized to markets included in the government's market monitoring and basic needs system, in accordance with directives from the central government. Once demand at those priority markets has been fully met, Bulog will begin distributing the subsidized cooking oil to retailers operating outside the monitored market network. Officials say the phased distribution is intended to ensure stable supplies in areas with the highest demand. With supplies gradually returning to normal, Bulog expects public demand to be fully met while maintaining the government's highest retail price of 15,700 rupiahs per liter. Officials explained that the earlier shortage occurred because Bulog received only 20,000 liters of cooking oil over the past 2 weeks, far below the normal weekly supply of 600,000 liters. With deliveries now recovering, the agency expects distribution to stabilize in the coming weeks. From Palu, Gabdika Chandra, TVRI Central Sulawesi, reporting.
Indonesia's Ministry of Agriculture has reaffirmed its commitment to supporting farmers in Parigi Motong Regency by helping meet key agricultural needs. The initiative is expected to strengthen farm productivity while supporting the National Food Security Program.
The Ministry of Agriculture has expressed its readiness to accommodate a range of agricultural needs in Parigi Motong Regency as part of broader efforts to boost productivity and reinforce Indonesia's national food security agenda. The announcement has raised expectations among local farmers for greater support from the central government. Regional authorities have been asked to prepare and submit proposals outlining priority needs, creating an opportunity to accelerate assistance for the agricultural sector throughout the Regency. Among the highest priorities is the provision of agricultural machinery and equipment known locally as Alsintan, along with improvements to irrigation infrastructure. Modern farming equipment is expected to help farmers work more efficiently, reduce production costs, and speed up every stage of cultivation, from land preparation to harvest. Meanwhile, upgrading irrigation networks is expected to improve the reliability of water supplies, ensuring agricultural productivity can be maintained, particularly in Parigi Motong's major food-producing areas. Officials believe these improvements will strengthen the resilience of local agriculture while increasing crop yields. Local officials say support from the Ministry of Agriculture will not only accelerate agricultural development across the region, but also reinforce Parigi Motong's role as one of Central Sulawesi's key food production centers, contributing to the province's long-term food security. From Parigi Motong, Amirullah Jarabe, TVRI Central Sulawesi contributor, reporting.
Don't go anywhere, more exciting stories are coming up after this short commercial break, only on Palu News Service.
Birimba Kareba sampai Sebukupura ataupun Tara TVRI Sulawesi Tengah.
Informasi dan peristiwa dari berbagai daerah di Sulawesi Tengah terangkum dalam program berita berbahasa Kaili.
Ya sarara riara mompak kurangi kasus stunting di Provinsi Sulawesi Tengah.
Kareba Kakomio setiap hari jam setengah 7 pagi dan jam 3 sore hanya di TVRI Sulawesi Tengah, media pemersatu bangsa. Program kuliner dengan nuansa hangat dan menggugah selera. Dari laut hingga lebah, dari dapur tradisional hingga rumah makan kekinian, semua rasa hadir di satu layar. Darasa, setiap hari jam setengah 1 siang dan setiap Senin, Selasa jam setengah 4 sore hanya di TVRI Sulawesi Tengah, media pemersatu bangsa.
Thanks for staying with us. Let's get back to the latest updates on Palu News Service. Fewer students at a junior high school in Donggala Regency are calling for the government's free nutritious meals program to continue. They say the initiative not only improves nutrition, but also helps reduce daily expenses for their families.
Students at Banawa Tengah 1 Junior High School in Donggala Regency say the free nutritious meals program has delivered meaningful benefits since its introduction. Besides helping meet students' daily nutritional needs, the national program has also eased the financial burden on many families, particularly those with limited incomes. Several students said that before the program began, they typically required between 20,000 and 25,000 rupiah each day for meals and pocket money. With free nutritious lunches now provided at school, that amount has dropped to around 5,000 to 10,000 rupiah, giving parents significant savings while ensuring children receive balanced meals during the school day. Students believe the program should continue because of the positive impact it has had on their daily lives. They say it not only supports healthy growth and learning, but also demonstrates the government's commitment to helping children from low-income families pursue their education without worrying about the cost of food. While expressing strong support for the program, students also hope organizers, through the Nutrition Fulfillment Service Unit, or SPPG, will introduce a greater variety of menus. They believe more diverse meal options would keep students enthusiastic while continuing to meet the government's nutritional, food safety, and quality standards. Basarudin Mohammed, TVRI Central Sulawesi, reporting.
Construction of the Red and White Fishing Village project in Poso Regency continues to make steady progresses. As of July, work on the strategic fisheries development project has reached 57% completion and remains on schedule for completion next month.
Construction of the Red and White Fishing Village in Labuan Village, Lage District, Poso Regency is continuing at a steady pace as contractors work to complete one of the Ministry of Marine Affairs and Fisheries strategic development projects. Work on the project began in mid-February 2026, and physical construction has now reached 57% completion. Construction crews are currently focused on finishing the main buildings and installing the roof structure of the community hall, as work moves toward the final stages. The fishing village is part of the first phase of the ministry's national program to strengthen fisheries infrastructure. A total of 11 integrated facilities are being developed within the complex to support fishermen and related economic activities. The facilities include cold storage units, an ice production plant, a fish landing shelter, boat docking and mooring facilities, as well as a culinary center and other public amenities designed to improve services for the local fishing community. Contractors say only a number of buildings remain under construction and expressed confidence that the entire project will be completed on schedule in August. Once finished, the facilities will be handed over to the government and are expected to strengthen the local fisheries sector while helping boost the economy of fishing communities in Poso. From Poso Regency, Shahrial, TVRI Central Sulawesi contributor, reporting.
Viewers, rice farmers in Parigi Motong Regency are being encouraged to adopt modern farming practices as a part of efforts to increase rice production despite limited land and water resources. Officials believe technology-driven agriculture will help strengthen regional food security.
The Parigi Motong Regency government is encouraging rice farmers to adopt the Modern Agriculture Advanced Agricultural System, or PMAAS, as a strategy to improve agricultural productivity through the use of technology and mechanized farming. Officials say the transition to modern farming has become increasingly important as opportunities to develop new rice fields continue to decline, while water availability remains one of the biggest challenges facing the agricultural sector. Rather than expanding farmland, the government is focusing on maximizing the productivity of existing fields through more efficient cultivation methods. Through the PMAAS program, farmers are expected to make greater use of agricultural technology and mechanization throughout the production process. The initiative aims to increase average rice yields from between 3.8 and 5 tons per hectare to as much as 10 tons per hectare, significantly increasing harvests without increasing cultivated land. This year, Parigi Motong has been allocated 2,280 hectares for implementation of the PMAAS program across 12 districts. Local authorities plan to expand the program in the coming years so more farmers can adopt modern agricultural practices, improve productivity, and strengthen regional food security. Amirullah Jarabe, TVRI Central Sulawesi contributor, reporting.
The Central Sulawesi chapter of the Indonesian Retired Police Association, or PPPolri, has reaffirmed its commitment to supporting the Indonesian National Police in strengthening public service and professionalism. The pledge was made during the organization's 27th anniversary celebration in Palu.
Carrying the theme Retired Service Supporting Presisi Polri, the 27th anniversary celebration of PPPolri served as an opportunity for retired police officers across Central Sulawesi to strengthen solidarity while reaffirming their commitment to supporting the duties of the active police force. The chairperson of PPPolri Central Sulawesi said retirement does not mark the end of service to the nation. Instead, former police officers are encouraged to continue contributing their knowledge and experience while helping promote the values of professionalism, integrity, and public service that have guided them throughout their careers. Ahead of the anniversary celebration, members also carried out a series of community outreach activities, including visits to orphanages and the distribution of social assistance as part of the organization's commitment to community service. The anniversary gathering also served to strengthen friendship and solidarity among retired officers, while reinforcing their continued support for policing efforts across Central Sulawesi. Through its 27th anniversary commemoration, PPPolri Central Sulawesi reaffirmed its commitment to supporting the active police force in carrying out its duties while contributing to regional development programs in Central Sulawesi. Michael Farin, TVRI Central Sulawesi, reporting.
More stories coming up right after this short break. Stay with us on Palu News Service.
Gempa bisa datang tanpa peringatan. Saat gempa terjadi, segera merunduk, lindungi kepala, dan bertahan sampai guncangan berhenti. Setelah guncangan berhenti, evakuasi dengan tenang menuju tempat aman. Gunakan ponsel seperlunya untuk menghubungi keluarga atau layanan darurat. Siaga, waspada, dan saling membantu, karena keselamatan adalah tanggung jawab bersama. Gempa bumi tak dapat dicegah, tapi nyawa bisa diselamatkan dengan siaga.
Menampilkan musisi lokal, lagu-lagu hits, dan talenta muda penuh semangat. Saatnya bersantai menikmati alunan musik terbaik dari musisi lokal Bumi Tadulako. Lagu-lagu hits hingga penampilan ekspresif penuh warna. Premusik setiap Selasa sampai Minggu jam setengah 12 siang. Dan setiap hari jam 8 malam. Hanya di TVRI Sulawesi Tengah, media pemersatu bangsa.
Viewers, you're still watching Palu News Service, and here's the next story. The Palu City government has temporarily suspended the operation of its city bus services while construction of 10 new bus shelters is underway. Civil servants have been advised to use official or private vehicles until the work is completed.
For the past several months, civil servants working within the Palu city government have been required to commute using the city's public bus service. The policy was introduced as part of the municipal government's efforts to reduce fuel consumption and promote the use of public transportation, helping cut the use of diesel, Pertalite, and Pertamax fuel. However, the city government has temporarily halted the operation of the bus service to allow the construction of 10 new bus shelters at several strategic locations across Palu. The infrastructure project is intended to improve passenger accessibility while enhancing the overall quality, safety, and convenience of the city's public transportation system. During the temporary suspension, the regional secretary has instructed all civil servants within the Palu city government to use either official vehicles or their own private transportation to carry out their daily work activities until the upgraded facilities are completed. City officials have also appealed to residents for their patience and understanding, emphasizing that the temporary suspension is necessary to improve the quality of public transport services. The government expects construction work to be completed within a relatively short period, allowing bus operations to resume with better supporting facilities and greater comfort for passengers throughout Palu. From Palu, Gabdika Chandra, TVRI Central Sulawesi reporting.
The government and state-owned energy company Pertamina are strengthening the distribution of subsidized diesel fuel in Palu through mandatory QR code verification. The digital system is intended to ensure fuel subsidies are received only by eligible beneficiaries.
The implementation of a QR code-based digital verification system for purchasing subsidized diesel fuel continues to be intensified at all fuel stations across Palu. The policy forms part of the government's broader effort to ensure that state fuel subsidies are distributed accurately and reach only those who are entitled to receive them. Under the electronic verification system, every subsidized fuel transaction is centrally recorded in a national database. Officials say the mechanism has proven effective in reducing opportunities for misuse while helping identify irregular purchasing patterns that could indicate abuse of the subsidy program. Only vehicles that have successfully completed the registration and verification process are permitted to purchase subsidized diesel fuel. To ensure compliance, routine inspections and layered monitoring continue to be carried out at fuel stations throughout the city. The strengthened digital verification system is also supported through close coordination among Pertamina, the Downstream Oil and Gas Regulatory Agency, or BPH Migas, the Central Sulawesi provincial government, and law enforcement authorities. Officials say the collaboration is aimed at maintaining transparency and safeguarding the integrity of subsidized fuel distribution across the region. Fitra Rian, TVRI Central Sulawesi reporting.
Indonesia's Meteorology, Climatology and Geophysics Agency, or BMKG, says most areas of Central Sulawesi are experiencing very low rainfall during the current 10-day observation period in July. The prolonged dry conditions have increased concerns over the potential risks of drought across the province.
BMKG reports that rainfall across most parts of Central Sulawesi during the current 10-day observation period has remained in the very low category. Average rainfall has ranged between 20 and 50 millimeters, reflecting increasingly dry weather conditions as the dry season becomes more dominant across the province. Several areas have recorded even lower rainfall, receiving less than 10 millimeters during the same period. These include the Togean Islands, northern Bangai, and southern Bangai Laut, where prolonged dry weather has become more pronounced. According to BMKG, the significant decline in rainfall across much of Central Sulawesi indicates an increasing risk of meteorological drought, particularly in areas that have experienced minimal rainfall over the past several observation periods. The agency warns that continued dry conditions could affect agriculture, plantations, and local water supplies if rainfall remains below normal. BMKG is urging farmers, business operators, and local governments to manage water resources wisely and remain alert to the impacts of the dry season. The agency says it will continue monitoring atmospheric conditions and provide regular weather and climate updates so communities can take early precautionary measures against the potential effects of prolonged dry weather. Echo Seption, TVRI Central Sulawesi reporting.
Viewers, that concludes this edition of Palu News Service. Thank you for choosing us, TVRI, as your trusted source of reliable news and information. For continuing coverage of the world's biggest football tournaments, stay tuned on TVRI National and TVRI Sports. 3 World Cups, 1 broadcast home. TVRI, Indonesia's home of world football. I'm Diam Dekawati signing off. Thank you for watching. Have a pleasant day and see you next time.